Last month, a Russian disinformation network targeted European Union countries ahead of the EU Parliament elections. Now, U.S. officials warn that Russia could attempt to influence the 2024 election with propaganda posts. Our Nicole Sganga shows us some of the Kremlin's disinformation tactics online.
In early June, this video surfaced on identical websites claiming to be European news outlets, an alleged warning from the CIA about this month's Paris Olympics. But the video is a fake. The CIA said they didn't produce it, and CBS News linked it to Russian disinformation networks. CBS News confirmed producer Ariel Delzer traced the video's origin back to a pro-Russia military blogger with a following of more than 200,000. Designed to dupe unsuspecting readers online and spread fear of a possible terrorist attack ahead of the games. Part of a pattern of propaganda, this Russian disinformation campaign has also targeted the European elections and the 2024 Euro soccer tournament.
This is a popular tactic on Telegram with Russian disinformation networks that use this platform. They will post one sort of fake claim, whether it's a deep fake video or just text that is some sort of false statement. And from there, the other ones will reshare it in the Telegram app, and it will cycle through the whole network, if you will, by these accounts with sometimes millions of followers or just hundreds of thousands of followers.
CBS News confirmed tracked multiple networks exposing Russia's disinformation playbook.
It's part of a tactic called information laundering, seeding misleading narratives on fringe websites disguised as news sources in hopes they reach legitimate publications. Then they're amplified by pro-Kremlin users on social media platforms. The websites and accounts look like they're based in the European Union, but researchers say they're actually run out of Russia, and the companies behind them work directly with the Russian government.
A CBS News investigation found websites run by one Russian network churned out as many as 70 articles an hour ahead of the EU elections.
These Russian disinformation networks are getting better at using automation tools to churn out content quickly and cheaply.
Other networks now exploiting reports of anti-Semitic acts across Paris to undermine authorities, stoking fears about migration and crime, further spread by pro-Kremlin accounts.
Russians invented the word disinformation, effectively.
Brett Schaefer is a senior fellow studying disinformation at the Alliance for Securing Democracy.
What's new is whatever is out there in the ecosystem. So you have migration concerns, you have the recent EU elections, which is a nice sort of dovetail into the Olympics. So we've seen this sort of rise of the far right in France, in Germany, and other places. So all of the conflicts that we saw voters really care about in the elections, Russia latches onto them.
And now there are fears Russia could try this same tactic ahead of the U.S. election in November. But Schaefer cautions that Americans should trust the process.
Russian disinformation only works if real, authentic Americans play into it. If we're not part of the problem, if we're not spreading their narratives, if we are not doing harm to each other, their campaigns are not going to work.
And Nicole Sganga joins me now. Nicole, how's the U.S. government handling all of this? They know it's coming ahead of the November election.
Yeah, John, State Department officials have released several reports on Russian disinformation to raise awareness about these tactics. Officials are also warning that AI makes it easier for these campaigns to target and influence people. And certainly FBI Director Chris Wray has been saying that advances in generative AI are making their tactics more and more realistic and difficult to detect. Earlier this month, the Justice Department actually said it disrupted a covert Russian intelligence operation that used AI to spread propaganda in the U.S., Europe, and Israel. That campaign was centered on undermining support for Ukraine and stoking political divisions. The department also said it was working with Canada, the Netherlands, officials at X in seizing 2 internet domains in the U.S., and it ultimately took down 968 inauthentic accounts created by the Russian government.
And what are social media companies doing to stop this? And are all social media companies interested in stopping it?
Yeah, not all social media companies created equal here. Social media platforms have different policies on what kinds of content they're permitted on their platforms. Several companies, including Meta and Google, release regular reports on campaigns they take down. Others are less transparent. CBS News, we did reach out to Telegram and X. We've not heard back specifically on our reporting, but John, all of these networks are still active and are still producing content. It is worth noting, researchers say a lot of these Russian campaigns are falling short of duping the public writ large, in part due to media literacy campaigns, experts, fact checkers, and officials calling out these tactics. But with the development of AI, there is concern that these disinformation networks are now capable of doing more with less.
So that leads me to the question, what can a regular person do other than maybe just go read a good book to be on the lookout and spot these kinds of social media campaigns or websites or even texts they might get that are trying to fool them?
Yeah, always recommend reading a good book. But first, when you're online, pause for a minute to understand what it is you're reading. What is the source? Are you familiar with them? Then take a look at what other credible outlets are reporting. Does the information you're seeing match? If not, probably best not to share. You matter to your network of friends and family. Research consistently shows us that Americans tend to trust the opinions of their inner circle more than even other members of their community, be it their doctor, their faith leader, their political leaders. That makes your voice online powerful to those who are closest to you, your friends and family. So if you see strange or suspicious stories popping up out of nowhere and they're being shared by questionable accounts, it's best to ignore it, John.
Information hygiene is a good way to be a good neighbor. I like that idea. Nicole Sganga in Washington. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.